Former Foreign Affairs Secretary Albert Del Rosario, who led the country's arbitration win against China, has passed away at the age of 83. One political expert says that Huang Xilian was not misquoted after making comments about the safety of Filipino migrant workers in Taiwan. And the Department of Tourism insists that Puerto Galera remains untouched by the oil spill. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. Former Foreign Affairs Secretary Albert Del Rosario has passed away at 83. Del Rosario was the Philippine ambassador to the United States from 2001 to 2006, prior to his appointment as the country's chief diplomat. Del Rosario was also at the helm of the DFA from 2011 to 2016, under the administration of the late former President Benigno Aquino III. It was under Del Rosario's watch that the Philippines brought to an international court its complaint against China for violating the country's rights in the West Philippine Sea. This led to the historic 2016 arbitral ruling in favor of the Philippines, which junked China's sweeping claims in the South China Sea. Details on Del Rosario's wake and interment have yet to be announced. President Bongbong Marcos has conveyed his condolences over the passing of Del Rosario. In a statement, Marcos Jr. described the former DFA chief as a, quote, honorable diplomat and an esteemed public servant. The president likewise thanked Del Rosario for his deep commitment to the national interest and unwavering devotion to its shared values. The Foreign Affairs Department remembers Del Rosario as a staunch advocate of protecting and advancing national security and for promoting the rights and welfare of Filipinos here and abroad. Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo described the former DFA chief as a consummate diplomat and an inspiring leader who led the DFA with integrity and an unwavering commitment to public service. Del Rosario's former colleagues in the Aquino cabinet said they were privileged to have served alongside Del Rosario, who always challenged them to be tireless in the fulfillment of duty. They added that despite being much older, Del Rosario acted younger than most with his zest for life. And the Foreign Affairs Department has assured the safety of overseas Filipino workers in Taiwan as well as in other countries. In a statement, DFA expressed its commitment to safeguarding the welfare of all Filipino workers abroad. The agency added that its dealings have always been on the basis of, quote, mutual respect and adherence to international law. Meanwhile, Manila Economic and Cultural Office Chairman Silvestre Bello also echoed this assurance that OFWs in Taiwan are safe and sound. The statements come on the back of Chinese envoy Huang Xilian's remarks, advising the Philippines against recognizing Taiwan's independence in the interest of the 150,000 OFWs there.
The situation is very normal. Walang mga OFWs na nagsasabi sa amin na gusto nilang umuwi. Yung community natin doon is well organized. They have plans just in case of an emergency. We have nothing to worry about.
And still on that, one political expert does not believe that Chinese ambassador to the Philippines, Huang Xilian's statement, was misquoted or misunderstood. Political science professor Renato De Castro explained on The Big Story that Huang's message was likely intended to force the Philippines to make a stand on the issue between Taiwan and China. This, however, runs counter to the country's policy of non-intervention. Some groups and lawmakers have recently called on the palace to have the Chinese ambassador recalled over his recent statements that appeared to threaten the safety of OFWs in Taiwan. But the Chinese embassy in the Philippines insists that Huang was simply misquoted or misunderstood.
I also read and heard the same thing. I don't think it's miscoded. No, it is. The message is we should do something which is actually contrary to our policy of not intervening in the Taiwan issue. But then, of course, he mentioned that if we really care about the 150,000 Filipinos. So it's obviously referring to the fact that it's a veiled threat, in whatever form.
Moving on to other news, the widow of slain Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo has bared a list of Negrenses who were allegedly killed on the order of Congressman Arnie Teves. Pamplona Mayor Janice Degamo claims that Teves is responsible for the deaths of about 30 others who were murdered before her husband. She also claims to have proof that the perpetrator of the deaths from 2012 to 2013 is the same as that of the ones murdered between 2018 and 2020. Mrs. Degamo insists that the supposed private army of the Teves family exists.
The connection, makikita niyo po, the murderer of one victim is the same murderer of 2 or 3 more victims. Makikita mo yung connection that it has been there for so long a time. Bakit naman yung namatay ng 2011 o 2012 ay magkakaroon ng the same perpetrator, the same gunman sa namatay ng 2018, 2019, and 2020. The presence of private armed groups by the Teveses is real and true.
We're bringing you more stories after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Dengue cases in Quezon City are up by 176% compared to the same period last year. Officials say water service interruptions contributed to the rise of dengue cases in the area. Mon Gualvez reports.
Sweeping outside the house has been a daily activity for Celine. She does this to prevent getting infected with dengue again.
Sabi ko, na, ay wala lang to kasi baka lang, sa lotion lang. Tapos kinabukasan, ang sama na ng lalamunan ko, ang bigat na ng katawan ko.
In Barangay Tatalon, Quezon City, homes near Celine's house are spaced so tightly together that only a narrow alley serves as their way out to the main road. Here, they do their laundry outside, which leads to water accumulating in their canals. Aside from Celine, other residents also contracted dengue in the area, including Bernalin's 13-year-old kid.
Matubig, tapos po, hindi naman po lagi-lagi nalilinisan. Mahirap po kasi pabalik-balik sa ospital, tapos wala ka pong budget.
They're just among the 50 dengue cases reported in Barangay Tatalon since the year started. Dengue is one of those illnesses that's common during rainy season. But the DOH clarified that dengue is actually endemic, meaning even if the weather is hot and dry, chances are cases would be high. In Quezon City, around 440 additional dengue cases were reported from January 1 to April 8. That's a 176% jump compared to the same period in 2022.
Nakita natin yung upward trend kasi gano'n naman pagka umuulan, medyo dumadami yung kaso natin ng dengue. Pero below alert threshold pa naman tayo. We are monitoring yung mga cases na nare-receive natin. So from our health center, from the mga hospital, para maagapan tayo makapag-intervene.
The QC Epidemiology and Disease Surveillance Unit said that the water interruption could have also attributed to the rise in dengue cases.
Ibang lugar sa Quezon City nawawalan din ng tubig, no? So nangyayari, nag-iipon yung mga kababayan natin ng tubig pero hindi na tatakpan ng maayos. Kasi alam naman natin pagka may tubig, may mosquito, no? May dengue mosquito. Pagka dumami yung dengue mosquito, mas maraming chances na makakuha ito ng virus at maikalat sa ibang tao.
As storing water has been common during water service interruptions, the health department advises the public to always keep their water containers covered. It is also important to keep surroundings clean.
Maglinis po tayo ng ating kapaligiran, ng ating bakuran. Yun pong mga kuyagot natin sa bahay. Usually kapag ginalaw nyo yan, makikita nyo ang dami nagliliparan na lamok. Yan po ang gustong-gusto ng lamok. Yung mga madidilim na lugar, yung mga maduduming lugar.
Authorities warn that dengue could still be fatal. Health officials advise those experiencing symptoms to go to the health center or hospital. The DOH also blasted myths that some people attract dengue mosquitoes more than others. Some of these are dark-skinned and curly-haired people and those who are always sweaty.
Kahit sino maaring kagatin ng lamok. Kahit nga nasa loob ka ng bahay, kinakagat ka pa rin ng lamok. So lagi natin tatandaan, wala pong pinipili yung lamok kung sino ang kakagatin. Wala rin pong pinipili ang mga sakit kung kanino dadapo at kung sino ang magkakaroon ng sakit na yan. So kailangan lagi, lahat tayo, dapat tayo alam natin kung paano natin maiiwasan ang isang sakit.
To prevent dengue, applying mosquito repellent lotion would be helpful as well as wearing thin and long clothes. Schools are also recommended to temporarily ditch shorts and skirts for uniforms during the dengue season. For News 5, Mon Gualvez, we are One News.
The tourism department says that Puerto Galera remains untouched by the oil spill. In today's palace briefing, Tourism Secretary Cristina Frasco cited the water quality test report by the Health Department and the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. If the oil spill does reach Puerto Galera, losses would be at least 5.3 million pesos per day. Frasco assures that the tourism department is in close coordination with other government agencies on the disaster. One News Now will be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News. All sides, all the time.